There's a popular music trend that's been climbing all year, and it's a lot darker than you might think. Welcome to the era of recession pop. Now, recession pop isn't like an official genre or anything, but it's a type of music you'll be familiar with. Think back to that obnoxiously positive pop sound that was dominating the charts 15 years ago. Katy Perry was calling you a firework, Lady Gaga was telling you to just dance, and TikTok was just the #1 Kesha song about partying till dawn. In the late 2000s, you couldn't go out in public without hearing "It's a party in the USA" or "Tonight's gonna be a good night" over and over again. You know what else happened in the late 2000s? The GFC. Believe it or not, the link between positive music and a negative global outlook actually dates back to the Great Depression. Just listen to the lyrics of this famous song from 1932.
Here's how to make things okay. Just whistle and blow your blues away.
Now, it may seem jarring or even callous to tell people suffering through a severe global economic downturn to just whistle their blues away. But studies have shown that in times of serious economic hardship, people crave a positive escape through music. Now here's where things get interesting. We are seeing this exact same trend in 2024. Look at some of the biggest artists in pop this year. Charli XCX, Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter. Beyoncé dropped a feel-good country record in March. Dua Lipa's latest album is literally called Radical Optimism. Those big GFC pop singers of the late 2000s, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Kesha, they're all making a comeback this year. Now, arguably one of the biggest cultural phenomenons this year was Charli XCX's Brat, which was basically a global call to get on the dance floor. Metacritic named Brat the highest rated album of the year, and its impact was so huge that Kamala Harris used it to launch her presidential election campaign. Another interesting case is Chappell Roan. Some of her biggest hits today were actually recorded years ago, but she only really blew up this year. Chappell Roan embodies a lot of those recession pop characteristics. She's got a bright, positive sound, an image that promotes fantasy and escapism, and this underlying message of just whistle your blues away. Now, of course, there's nuance to this. Recession pop is not a musical genre in and of itself, and the form it takes in one period won't necessarily be the same in another. Katy Perry learnt this the hard way. Woman's World was touted as her big comeback single, and she was torn to shreds, obviously for working with Dr. Luke, but also for just copying and pasting that glossy, generic, happy formula that worked for her over a decade ago. In 2024, the recipe for success seems to be upbeat club bangers, sure, but with a bit more of an authentic edge. Part of Brat's appeal was that Charli XCX wove deeper emotional themes into the album. Everything from her insecurities with Lorde to the existential question of whether or not to have children. Now you may be asking, what makes recession pop any more interesting or newsworthy than any other emerging genre of music? Think of it this way. Whether you love or hate them, trends in popular culture, be it through music, movies, TV, fashion, are a reflection of everything else that's going on around us. And the most widespread defining issue right now is the cost of living crisis. The economy's slowing, housing is less affordable than ever before, grocery prices are skyrocketing, and it just feels like there's no end in sight. Music that encourages you to stay positive doesn't necessarily mean a recession is inevitable, but it does reflect this simmering fear in the general public that it might be. And if nothing else, you'll never listen to a Katy Perry song the same way.